You good?
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Test, test, test. Okay, good evening, everybody. It is 7:30. Welcome to the Skokie Appearance Commission for February 11th, 2026. A quick reminder, we are live on YouTube. Let's go ahead and do a attendance roll call for this evening. Mark Penning, chair here. Thomas?
Present.
Charles?
Present.
Joe?
Here.
Julie? Not here. Jay?
Present.
Carlos?
Present.
Jacob?
Here.
Great, thank you. Oh, so with that said, would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I move to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Does anyone want to second that? Seconded. Let's go ahead and do another roll call. Let's start with myself. Yay. Thomas?
Yay.
Charles?
Yay.
Joe?
Hey, that was an A with a frog.
Jay?
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yeah.
Jacob?
Yay.
So approved. Okay, welcome everybody. We are here to assess the appearance of your project. We will not be reviewing interior plans, only as so much to inform the exterior of your project. We trust that color samples and features details are included within the submission documents, but if you brought physical samples, that is helpful and welcome for our review. We will take into consideration the comments of the village staff when rendering our opinion, and this will be read into the record as your case is being called. When your case is called, I would ask that the applicant please come to the main podium next to the screen. If any concerned neighbors or citizens have anything to say about this specific case, you can come sit near the front and to prepare to speak after our discussion with the applicant. At such time, if you could please speak from the podium here in front of me. If anyone is speaking tonight, we would ask that you please rise to be sworn in by the vice chair. If you are speaking tonight, please stand and be
If you're
sworn
gonna say
in.
anything, you need to be sworn in. Anything at all? It's harmless. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. The first case of tonight is new business. Item 2026-003A, 9617 Kildare Avenue, a residential project.
The applicant is proposing the construction of a 585 square foot second floor addition located above the western portion of the existing first floor. The addition is designed to match the scale and appearance of the existing structure and remain consistent with the overall character of the residence. Staff has reviewed the proposed elevations, has no objection. The exterior materials and finishes will complement the existing structure using similar colors and design elements. The addition is designed to blend in with the original building and will not look out of place.
Thank you, Tom. So the first individuals that are involved with this case, if you could come up to the podium and identify yourself. I'm sorry, right here.
My name is Ramon Contreras. I'm the architect.
Thank you. So go ahead, so I guess what we're looking at here are this is the house in question. If you want to go ahead and identify anything that you'd like to with regards to what we're seeing currently.
Correct. So we're trying to do a second floor addition over this existing house. He's trying to keep the existing masonry, match the white gutters, and then the front addition, it'll be only a front addition on top of the split level. So that's the west elevation is what we're actually,
Front elevation?
front elevation there. That's what we're proposing, to do a siding over the existing house. Putting a balcony also on the side of the house, the full length of it. And then adding some columns to create some sort of like canopy as he walks into the front of the house.
So the canopy is along the walkway to the front door, which is actually on the north side of the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have anything they'd like to discuss with regards to the project? Joe?
Two questions,
Yeah.
really.
Sure.
I like the materials, and the porch and the colonnade is a nice touch to get to the front door. The first question, and it's not a deal breaker or anything, because it looks like it meets all of our criteria, but the second floor windows that you're proposing, it looks like the big window is over the smaller window, and the smaller window is over the big window, and I was just wondering why that decision was made on the west elevation.
Well, we gotta meet the egress requirements
Okay,
for the windows. And those are usually minimum, 38 inches wide. So that's why they looks bigger.
okay. So both those windows are the same size then on the second floor?
Yeah, they should be.
Okay, so if they're the same size, then that makes sense. It's probably just a kind of a,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
so if they're the same size, I was just kind of wondering about that when I was looking at it. And then the stone that's at the back of the stairway, it looks like it's originally brick. It's just a heads up, but that should be probably just brick on the back end of the colonnade on the west elevation.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to make a note of that,
Okay.
that you're leaving it probably brick. I can't
Yeah,
imagine that you're
right.
trying to.
No, yes, I understand.
Great. That's all I had.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to make a comment on? Go ahead.
I'm just curious about your column selection. Is that the actual column you're going to use, or are those just placeholders?
They're pretty much placeholders, but Yeah, it'll be something decorative.
I will say,
Where-
funny that you mentioned that. I didn't particularly like the columns as they're presented, and I know we have a case a little bit. I think it's the if I'm not mistaken, it's the next case, the Lamon Avenue. The columns on that actually really liked a lot, and I was wondering if it'd be possible if we could use something similar in this case. Is it possible to scroll to the next one? So the columns that you see, is it possible to come in closer
Oh, I can see.
on that balcony?
More than that.
A little bit more, please.
Yeah, I see the detail on the top.
The ones that you were showing are the fluted columns. I like the kind of more
Sure,
clean, smooth,
Yeah.
and with a little more, with the detail showing.
okay. Yeah, I don't see, we don't have no problem doing something
Okay,
non-fluted, squared, and,
yeah. Anybody else have any comments?
For the record. So the bottom of the front elevation is brick, not stone, correct?
only the little piece on the side,
Okay. And the,
which would be this piece right here.
right, so that's not what is
That would
represented?
be brick, yeah.
Okay.
Existing.
So it's the existing brick staying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the siding is vertical, not horizontal, is that right?
Correct,
And that is hardy.
yes.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, I think if everybody is good, let's go ahead and vote. We need a motion, that's right. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I move that its certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2026-003A at 9617 Kildare Avenue, as presented, with the fact that it's brick at the front entrance on the west elevation, and the windows on the second floor are the same size, and the columns along the colonnade to the front door are a match applicant 2026-004A at 10,014 Lamon. Does that cover it?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, with that seconded, let's go ahead and take a roll vote. Mark? Yes. Tom?
Yay.
Charles?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Julie absent. Jay?
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yes.
So passes. Thank you for coming. Appreciate
very
your,
much.
good luck. Okay, let's move on to the second case. This is case number 2026-004A, 10014 Lamon Avenue, residential.
The applicant is proposing to construct a second floor addition that will cover the existing first floor footprint, totaling approximately 1,305 square feet. The addition will be finished with new vinyl siding, which will contrast with the existing brick on the first floor. Staff has no objections to the proposed elevations. The overall design remains compliant with the 51% masonry requirement.
Good evening, welcome. If you could just identify yourself,
Sure. Abdul Samju, the homeowner of this building.
welcome.
Thank you.
So what we're looking at here are neighboring or houses, right?
That is correct, yes. So that's.
Is
the
this your
property.
house then?
That is correct, yes. That is the east, top picture is the east facing elevation. And then we got the west over here. And on this side, we got the north and the south over here.
So is the north your front door?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And what are we looking at here?
So I plan on just building straight up on top of the existing.
I'm sorry, the materials.
Oh, okay, yeah. So herringbone vinyl siding, trying to keep it a neutral color. And then as far as the roof, currently I have the same type of color, graphite shingles. I just plan on keeping it the same, just to keep it simple and economical as well in terms of costs.
Okay. So you said vinyl siding, is that right?
That is correct, yes.
So is vinyl okay to use in the village? I mean, it's not required that you use hardy.
Typically, you don't need to. Typically, we've, if it's below the 51% masonry, we've accepted cementitious, like hardy siding, in lieu of. But vinyl siding hasn't been, I don't think it's an ordinance, is it?
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not something that we've ever,
Maybe preferred.
we definitely prefer it, and particularly if it's under the 51% masonry.
Right. Okay. So we're looking at actually the front door there.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I got it twisted, if I got it wrong. But yeah, the front door would be this one right here, just if you scroll down.
Oh, I'm
The one
sorry.
south- Yeah, right here.
So
south.
there's doors on both north
On-
and south.
exactly,
But
on
the
the
south
sides.
side is the actual front door.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
It confuses everyone because it's a gravel alley,
Okay.
so we always have people showing up in our kitchen.
So if you could just identify what the change is here.
Yes, so current existing blueprint is a single-family ranch-style house, brick, and I will be just building straight up on top of the existing blueprint. The addition is kind of a color scheme in terms of, you can see the vinyl. I'm planning to get like 3 bedrooms up there and a full bathroom with some loft area. Pretty much it. Hopefully it's a straightforward build.
Anybody have any comments?
I do. Can you clarify what material are the existing windows on the first floor?
Yeah, they're vinyl.
So all vinyl windows, are you replacing all windows or just the?
No, I'm not replacing,
Okay.
first floor will be remaining as
Okay.
is, no touches to that, but for the windows on the addition, they'll match the color vinyl, and then where applicable, there'll be the emergency, the egress ones as well.
Okay.
I have a question as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the east elevation with the addition on the second floor, you have the gable with a window. Is it possible to make that window in size a little bit more compatible with the scale of the other windows?
I thought about that, but the thing is, that'll actually be the master bathroom. So, I mean, so that's why we had that size, but if required, then I mean, we can scale it out if required.
I don't think it's required, but I think my view is that it will help to make the elevation a little bit more complete or
Okay.
have a better presence than a window that kind of shy about being a window,
Uh-huh.
you know. So I think that the scale is kind of a little bit off there.
Okay, so just larger on the.
Just to
east
match the scale of the windows that are on the side. So I think that would be more comparable.
side? Okay,
It's just a suggestion on my part.
okay.
I agree with that. I feel like the window needs to be larger.
I agree as well, Carlos. That was, the only thing I had here. It was just simply because it's a front elevation,
Uh-huh.
and it, just proportionally. Granted, it's a master bathroom or primary bathroom, but it's just in proportion. When you're all done and you stand back, you're gonna go, damn, why didn't I do a
should've,
bigger
yeah.
window?
No, more natural
Yeah.
sunlight that way.
Yeah. The other comment I have is the issue you mentioned with your front door. We have a lot of side doors in town, and I don't know what the setback is, but you are allowed to put a cantilever portico over that, which might help the idea of, pointing people at the front door a little bit better. So I think you're allowed 3 feet as a encroachment into the setback.
I'd have to confirm that and
Yeah.
double check, I believe so.
But
But we-
since you're getting a loan probably, unless you're paying cash for this, it's something you might want to consider, since that's an issue to get people, to direct people to your front door. It's, you're doing it, might as well do it all at once.
Makes sense. Okay.
If I may, I would concur with that opinion. And I think that not only helps you to visually identify the entry, but in practical purposes is a good way to avoid the rain or snow, particular rain, just with groceries, and you open the door and you get in wet. So I think that putting a canopy really emphasizes the front door plus give you some shelter.
Okay. So just kind of like umbrella canopy over, is that what you guys are?
Yeah, to talk to your, your
Sorry,
builder, and it,
yeah.
it falls within the, if you're within the encroachment, I think it's 3 feet.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
you
because I
can't leave
kind of
it.
got the concrete stairways anyway, so just enough to hover over that basically.
Yeah, any more than that, you'd have to go to zoning board of
Yeah.
review, and you don't
Well,
want
I
to.
already went through that.
What is your
I'm
setback?
okay on that now. I'm sorry?
What is your setback?
So, I actually was at the zoning board appeal, January, it's because of this, the south elevation, I was at 3.2 and a 3.8. But I bought the property as is, existing as it was, so that was, the variance that I was presenting, because I'm just building straight up, I'm not really protruding outwards or creating any new setbacks.
Given that, I would to talk to somebody at the village just to make sure that that canopy is acceptable, because I don't want to
Okay,
cause
like that.
any,
Okay.
But now's the time to do something like that if you can, so
Okay.
might as well.
So, okay, no problem, definitely, I'll probably speak with Brian.
I've got a side door and same issue.
We can
so-
feel the pain. Okay,
You can go ahead.
We can research that and get back to you tomorrow, so you know.
sure, thank you.
Did anybody else have any comments?
My only question is for your patio door. I see you've got divided lights on there, and you don't have those on any of the other windows. I was wondering, is that the door that you're intending to use, or will the style of that door match the windows?
I'm sorry, I didn't, the door?
The patio door up on the balcony.
Uh-huh.
You've got the mullions in there that break it up into smaller pieces.
Okay, like the panel doors, the sliding panel doors.
Yeah. Will it is that the actual door you're gonna use with the mullions on it, or will it look like the windows with just the larger pieces of glass?
I would probably opt to keep it uniform with the windows.
Mhm.
I think that was just in there to get kind of like perspective out there.
Cool.
But at the end of the day, I guess like when it comes to materials, once I'm started, the finishing materials in regards to that, I'll get a better understanding.
Cool.
Anybody else have any comments?
If for some reason you decide to keep the existing design of those doors with the mountains on them, I would recommend to use the mountains that apply to the exterior, not the ones that are sandwiched in between, because it's just a flat glass with a grid inside the two panels. But I would concur with the comment that try to match the configuration of the glass, which is basically one single pane.
Okay.
I think that would be more elegant and will match what's existing.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? With that, would we like to go ahead and make a motion to approve? Anybody?
Sure, I'll
Okay.
move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2026-004A at 10014 Lamon, with the provision for a larger window on the east elevation, which is the washroom window, with the option for an awning to be considered by the owner above the entry door, and a consideration for the muntins on the upper floor terrace, with, I guess they're doors.
Would anybody like to make a motion or second that? With that, we'll go ahead and take a vote. Mark, yay. Tom?
Yay.
Charles? Yay. Joe?
Yes.
Julie absent. Jay?
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yay.
So approved. Great, good luck.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
You bet.
So just to kind of understand the process, so I'll get an email in terms of the approval, and then I can proceed with the modifying of that window, and then apply for the permits, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you so much.
Thank you again, appreciate
Have a
it.
great evening. Thank you. Good luck. Thanks.
Okay, the next item is 2026-005A, 8041 Tripp Avenue, residential. I'd like to make a note. I am friends with the individuals at this location, so I'm going to recuse myself for the rest of this case number, and Tom will take it from here.
Okay. The applicant is proposing a second-floor dormer addition totaling approximately 189.5 square feet, increasing the existing second-floor area from 260 square feet to 449.5 square feet. The dormer is located within the existing building footprint and does not expand the first floor footprint. Staff notes that the dormer is offset on the east and west elevations, which makes the addition appear somewhat disconnected from the existing structure. Otherwise, staff has no objections to the proposed elevations. The siding and windows on the addition will match the existing materials, and the 51% masonry requirement is met. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Kriska, son of Nathan Kriska, the architect. He had to suddenly go to the ER earlier this afternoon, but he is doing all right. He's offered to get on a phone call. I personally have no knowledge of the project, but I
Okay.
can try to answer any questions.
I can help out here. If you go to the drawings, and I think where staff is having an issue is, I'm going to get up if you don't mind. These two elevations here. Next one. These two elevations here, this one and this one, you can see that the ridge line and the addition line all line up, whereas on the east and west elevation, the addition, the dormer addition pops up above that ridge line. So I think that's what staff is referring to. Just as you can kind of see the difference between the two, the front dormer, and if you go back to the picture of the existing, that peak of that dormer follows the ridge, I believe. And the new addition is above that. So that's why I think that's where the concern was with the, with staff's comment about the east and west elevation. So,
I think that referring to the side elevation is offset, meaning that it's not center.
That's how I read it, or,
It's a little bit offset to the right.
Yeah,
We don't have the benefit.
I actually, on the north elevation, it goes all the way to the edge of the building, and on the south elevation, it just above the door doesn't.
Yeah.
And then also that, what bothered me was the ridge line. Was the east and west elevation, you're actually going up quite a bit higher than the dormer, or than the existing ridge line. And that was what kind of got me going. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I'll stay out of the offset, because that doesn't bother me as much.
excuse me. I think since we don't have the benefit of the plan, it's hard for us to determine whether or not the location of that dormer is necessary.
Would it be possible to call the architect from here, or?
I don't know, do you guys feel that that's
it's
mere discussion? I mean, I have some other questions about the rear, I believe.
well,
The one that has the,
I don't mind doing it if it's just, one or two yes or no questions. I don't want to have the architect, give us his entire thought process and what's going on. Are we allowed?
It's not something that we've normally done. The Appearance
Right.
Commission typically is not set up to do anything remote, but we do understand that these are extenuating circumstances. But, I mean, if there's gonna be a big discussion, I would say postpone it to the next meeting, because you wanna make sure that you're getting the right information to the board and getting the right information back to the architect to make sure things are taken care of. So,
I agree with that, because unfortunately, I know Nathan does a nice job, and he's been around forever and has done right for the village. But there's a lot of things on these drawings that don't line up. First of all, the ridge line, and the other thing that brings up is the offset, the offset in the south and the north elevation, the one's a little bit to the back, it doesn't make sense. Because if these don't line up like a T, this doesn't make sense. So there's too many things on this drawing that I don't quite understand. And it is one of our bungalows.
If I may?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yes, I think I have also some observations that I think that might help the architect to have some feedback before the next meeting, where one of the observations I have is the gable ending of the dormer. It doesn't really help with the hip roof that the bungalow has, so it's sort of straight lines all the way, like you can see on the left, rather than a gentle slope that will help on the ends of the dormers. That will be one observation I have, that it will help to reduce the scale of that dormer, even though may maintain the similar maybe footprint. And about the footprint, the rear elevation, I believe, is where you have the dormer going all the way, it looks like to the wall. Maybe if it's recessed setback, then it looks above on the south. Not that maybe that deep, but I think that will help to break it again, the scale of that, and actually look like a dormer. Like, because now it's like straight wall, and even the way the gable is shown, I think that if you have a hip roof, it will be helpful as well. So those would be my two observations.
Any other comments? So, I think it sounds like there are enough questions that can't be answered tonight. What I would recommend is that Nathan listen once he's up and back on his feet. Listen to the comments that we've presented tonight. Maybe they can be answered remotely. Otherwise, we're going to have to, postpone any kind of decision on this case for tonight. There's just too many unanswered questions that we need Nathan's expertise for. So if he could, when he's feeling better, take a look at tonight's proceedings, listen to the comments. Maybe the answers are very clear to him, but for tonight, we need the benefit of his what's inside of his head.
Okay. I mean, for what it's worth, he's also the architect for the next project on the docket. So hopefully that one has less questions.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Stick around.
If we run into the same issue, we may have to do that as well. So
Exactly.
with regards to this project, how do we, what do we say when we postpone?
We'll just postpone it until next month, unless it can be resolved by staff before then.
Do we need to vote on that?
You should probably vote on that.
Okay. I have a question though about.
Okay, another question.
Well, about the process, actually. If we table this decision based on the comments that the board is providing to the applicant, wouldn't it be appropriate that they come back and actually show that that's what they are following rather than staff? Because staff, unless it consults with a member or two members of the board to say, this is what the board meant, maybe. But I think these are important comments we provided to the applicant, so that I believe it would be appropriate to give the board the opportunity to,
Fine.
yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it's not a simple, I don't think it's a simple answer.
Correct.
Like Joe said, there are a lot of different lines that don't line up. And so I think those need to be explained. And we should probably hear the answers. So I'm going to just say, a motion, I move to table any further discussion on this case for tonight.
Second.
It's my job. One for me. Charles?
Yes.
Got it. Joe?
Yes, we're voting on a tabling.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Julie?
Yes.
Is not. here. Jay,
Yeah.
Carlos,
Yes.
Jacob.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
I've got a quick process question, if you don't mind, Mr. Chair, if I can squeeze it in. It's really
Sure.
to staff and the packet. Often in the past, we've gotten floor plans as part of this, even though we don't review the floor plans. But in this case, it might be helpful to have those to be able to read what those rooms are and because oftentimes they'll have ceiling heights, things like that marked on the floor plan. So if those are included, if they're available, they are really helpful. You know, like the last applicant with the primary suite and the bathroom, it kind of starts to help explain before they get here, how to review it. So,
Noted.
thank you.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next case, which is case number 2026-006A, 9537 Keeler Avenue Residential.
The applicant is, excuse me. The applicant is proposing to construct a 1,491 square foot second floor addition that will fully cover the remaining first floor footprint. The addition will be finished entirely in vinyl siding. Staff has concerns about whether the 51% masonry requirement is met, as the second floor addition appears slightly taller than the existing first floor, which may require additional masonry to maintain compliance. Staff notes that the addition creates a more cohesive appearance and makes the building read as a fuller structure. Staff recommends incorporating additional brick on the proposed west elevation to better tie the addition to the existing building. Overall, staff is supportive of the proposed elevations.
Okay,
He did give me a comment about this one. He said the second floor addition siding to match the existing rear addition to be brick to meet the 50% requirement.
so if we could just go to what you're speaking of and point out the idea that Nate has.
So I mean, I don't know if this one would be possible to get him on the phone for, but he mentioned the siding would be brick
On which,
on the second floor addition.
on the second floor addition of the front facade?
I believe so.
So, yeah, if you could keep scrolling. So the front is the west elevation. And what you're saying is the second floor addition on the front, which is the west elevation, would be brick to match the existing.
rear.
And where is the delineation of where the new and old addition are? Can anybody
I
tell?
stared at this for a long time. If you don't mind, I'm going to jump in for you. Because if you notice, the existing has the bump out right here, which follows this line right here. So that line follows the bump
Okay,
door.
yeah,
So
I see.
it's hard to read on these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
Could you go back to the picture?
the front facade.
Yeah.
So just a real quick question, I don't know I'm guessing, and I don't know if you can answer this, or if Joe, you can answer this, just based on the renderings that I saw in the documents, it looks like on the second floor currently, there is a setback. But my question is that where the setback is for the addition to go across, or is the addition actually moving forward a little bit and making the setback not as far back? Do you follow me? Does everybody follow me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we look at the side elevation perhaps, or the proposed way, that we could identify that wall that has the penetrations there? And see where that falls with the,
You mean like let's scroll down?
yeah, go to the front, well, the side elevation that will show the front.
Okay, yes, side elevation of the rendering. Okay. Is this the owner coming to the Okay, yeah, go ahead and identify yourself.
Hi, my name is Mendel Slavatiski,
The elevation drawings.
the owner of the house, and Nathan got an emergency, so, but regarding your question, the setback on the top of the entrance, right there, referring to this setback?
Yes.
Yeah, so the new addition will line up with that.
Okay, so the setback will stay
Yes,
where it
it'll stay
is.
the setback, yeah.
Okay,
It was maybe, yeah, people can, maybe that small part, we're gonna, yeah, but basically that was gonna be.
okay.
Can you show the proposed side elevation where the setback occurs? So that will be on the left side on the top?
So
I
the,
know when I saw it, it was hard for me to see, so I asked Nathan clearly, it's hard to see in the picture,
Yeah.
the
so the
setback.
south elevation that we're looking at actually shows the setback.
To your left,
To the
sir.
left, the top left,
That line,
And you can
Right
see it
there.
right.
Yeah, so
that's
that
the
is
setback.
existing and the proposed second story.
Yes.
But it looks like it's drawn incorrectly on the front elevation.
It is. It
It's
goes
not
all the way
clear.
over. Yeah.
There
The
should be,
delineation line is not clear on the front
Right.
elevation.
No, I think it's clearly not right. I think you can see the line of the roof
Is different.
is different.
So what you're saying is the existing second floor, according to the documents, is actually, comes out further.
The north side of the second floor,
Now, the west side, the front, it looks like that roof, so the existing front elevation, it looks as though
it's in one plane.
the new one has a bigger roof
Mhm.
and is longer.
Mhm.
And then it goes back.
Right. But Mendel, you're saying that front section is supposed to be bumped forwards and then the rest of the addition maintains that setback?
yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That's not what that shows, though.
Can we look at?
I know it was
the-
hard to see in the picture, and I asked Nathan, and he said even that matches also the calculation of the 50% or
Mhm.
something, whatever.
Can we
So,
look at are there above, looking down at the project?
Like the
That, right there,
second
that, the plat.
one. Yeah, so you see it
So
there.
that, is that second plat,
Bigger.
bigger, please? So that's the proposed site plan with the revision,
Mhm.
but it almost looks like that is the original bump
Which,
on the front.
that would make sense. If
Yeah.
the new addition is inside the roof line, then the overall, the survey view would look the same.
Is everybody on the same page with this?
yes, if I can comment on it a little bit. Go back to the proposed elevation. All right, so on the right-hand side, it would have been correct if the width of that gable will be more to your left. That line is missing, and even if you put a deeper or a vertical line that will separate the first portion of the building, that would mean that there is a cover canopy or a cover area for the entry. I don't know if that's what they're proposing, but I don't think that's what we're talking about, correct? If they're expanding that over the door, which appears, that's what the roof covers. Are you proposing to have something on top of you at the entry?
now we have something.
There, yes.
The
there
way it
a
is
little-
currently, we
Yeah,
have like a platform, which is covered, in the door for the rain,
Mhm.
and that all, everything as far will stay.
May I go to the front just to clarify?
Yes.
So the existing horizontal porch that goes across, it actually goes across from the door all the way over to the brick kind of
Exactly.
wing. So
Exactly.
above your picture window, all of that is covered. It's got a wide.
Yes, we have some plants under it. but
Yeah, and
covered.
it's got a wide cover, like a
Right.
wide
Yes.
eave on the top. That all stays.
Exactly.
So this is the problem, right? That's where that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that
there should
line.
be a vertical line there that is showing that this is ahead of asphalt, but the way it's represented is in the same plane.
Can I also stand up, please?
No, sit down. We could-
Currently-
I'm gonna stand up too.
Currently, this part of the second floor, like, is right here.
Yes.
But now you're saying that this second floor is gonna come out to here and then go back?
I don't think that's what you said. I think, so that existing bay above the bedroom window to the north of the front door, you're looking at the front door on the left, you got a little bump out, front door, that goes all the way up. So what's shown here is something different than what you had explained. If you go to the existing picture, you've got a second floor, oh, yeah, we can probably go any one of these. See, there's a wing wall there that comes out.
Yep.
And so there's the first floor existing eave comes all the way out, like 2 feet in front of the picture window. Then if you scroll back to the front elevation.
The new addition will be only up to there, right? Yeah.
So then on this one, this is confusing, so here, this one, we should be able to see. So you can see there's a 2 foot, so is that 2 foot, so the new addition is gonna come out to the edge of those brick walls?
Line up with this wall.
Okay,
Setback.
So that current second floor is not changing in size, the current second floor?
No.
So that-
This part,
Yes.
Yeah.
this
That-
stays.
Okay, and then the line where the new second floor is starts exactly where we see that existing old part in the back. That's where that will go across.
this is where floor plans come in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, unfortunately, the drawings provided were very confusing.
So, if I may? Because I
Go ahead.
don't understand.
I think we're trying to explain to the owner is that the drawings show that this is going all the way here,
Right.
How far?
from all the way here. If you look at the drawings, this plane is projected all the way here.
And the-
from here it begins deeper in?
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you're right. Good
So,
point.
so,
Yeah, this will change, I remember now, because we're gonna add another, inside here, staircase. So we're gonna have to have a little bit extra space. That's
you're talking about inside the building?
inside, so to have an extra, so this maybe will come out. Till here, that's what it shows.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not the architect,
Go
so
ahead.
I can't
Yeah,
decide, but
yeah.
that makes sense that we added for the stair to go another staircase there, so we have to move it out a little bit, so that's what it shows. So,
No offense to Nathan's son, but this is why architects are very important.
Okay, so at the end of the day, what Nate is really proposing is that the second floor setback area will be now brick. Not this extension, just the recessed part of the new second floor.
is this what the board is suggesting?
No, this is what I'm asking.
Ah,
This is what was
Okay, so-
presented. Is it going to be brick, and if so, on all 3 elevations?
I mean, I guess this is a later addition, with, when we, this is what's required? When we spoke originally was to be sided, but.
Yes. Unfortunately, the fact that Nate is not here, and I know, understand it's not his fault, it's just, we're in a difficult
Well-
situation.
Yes or no? I mean, is it?
If it's
We're just trying to figure out what part of this is gonna be brick.
So,
I mean, he
yeah.
correctly resolved this one. which is great.
So understand that the village of Skokie generally requires that homes consist of 51% masonry, okay? There are some homes that have 0 masonry in Skokie. Those are rare, but it's because of a variance. It was because we waived it. Someone waived it. It could happen here as well, but we prefer homes to have 51% masonry construction, if at all possible. So it's not a matter of, is it required? It's a question. Are you intending to put masonry on that elevation, all 3 elevations of the new addition, or not?
Yes,
What I know is that he said that there is the plans where it would match 50%.
That's
I
it.
can't speak to
Where?
locations.
See, we kind of need to know that. Go ahead.
I've got a quick, just a comment,
Yeah.
and, because this is really confusing, but it's really just about the drawing set, and I've walked by this house several times, and it looks like it's not finished. It's half.
Everybody asks me, who
It's,
finished the
and there's
design
another
of
one like this,
the house?
just, there's another one like, exactly like
exactly the same
this, to the
architect.
north a little
Yes.
bit. And, I always walk by it and look at it like, okay, it's kind of got nifty 50s elements, mid-century elements, but then they've got this thing on the side. It's actually this addition is a big improvement, regardless of where the notch comes out, wherever it goes back. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I'm throwing this out there to the group for discussion. If the second floor was cementitious or vertical siding that is shown on here, I wouldn't have a problem with the 51 or less than 51%. If you can get it to 51% and do the vinyl, I don't have a problem with it. I don't want to see just some kind of patch of brick thrown up that doesn't match the existing brick on the house. It's going to not do anybody any service. If you put brick on the front like Nathan suggests, it's hard for us to see, because if you're keeping that broad band, the mid-century element above the window, that broad eave and that setback and the cover over the, you wouldn't be well served with brick above that. It would just look kind of top-heavy and everything else. If you were to do, in my opinion, if you were to do vertical siding that comes close to what the existing redwood siding is, it would kind of meet the intent of the original kind of odd design. No offense to your house, but because there's some cool elements. That's why I noticed it. It's like that. There's and just by putting some kind of brick and trying to match like you did on the back you wouldn't be well served. At least that's my opinion. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to everyone else.
Joe, I 100% agree with you. I was going to say the exact same thing, that as it was presented, I did not have a problem with it. The confusion came when this new brick was to be proposed. I'm fine leaving it as is and having it with the under 51%. I do just want to clarify, is he proposing that he reside the whole second floor with a new vertical siding, or he's going to try to match as best as possible the existing with a new vertical siding? Do we know that answer?
I think we'll do a whole thing,
Okay.
a new to match. I mean, my wife will not let it go like
Okay.
patching, so
Okay,
I agree very much with your idea. I don't want to patch with some brick there.
yeah.
We want to have it look nice and decent, so I'm not an expert in building, but to me it makes sense to change everything and have everything look even and nice all around.
Yeah.
Well,
So, go ahead.
Could you blow up the plan? What does it say regarding the siding in the proposed, in any of those elevations? It says new?
It's not it does say new siding, but it doesn't identify, does it identify in the, I think he says in the wording that he wants to match.
And the staff
New
report
siding to
says,
match.
yeah, the staff report says the addition will be finished entirely in vinyl siding. So that's where that came, popped into my mind and kind of looking at this.
But you're specifying it should be vertical wood siding, and if it's calling out vinyl, we can infer that it's gonna be a horizontal clapboard style.
I actually like the vertical siding as
Yeah.
is. I think it lends to the mid-century feel of the house.
Great.
I was concerned that it was not 100% clear as to whether all the siding was going to be replaced to match exactly. I'm concerned about old siding trying to match new siding. But if Nathan can find vertical siding close to what the current siding is in that red color, I'm good with that. And again, I'm also good with not having the above 51% brick. I don't know how anybody else feels.
A question for the homeowner, maybe you already asked and answered it. Is it your understanding that all of that the second floor will have all new siding?
From looking at the picture, that was my understanding, yes. We never
so
discussed the
The
measurement.
existing stuff is gonna get peeled off, and new siding would be.
That's what I
take
envisioned,
its
that's how
place.
I envisioned it, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Jay?
No, he's telling that new siding, but I think in this it is written, they are going to match, so maybe they are going to use the existing siding also. No?
That's kind of what it looked like,
Yeah. So we
what I
don't
was
know.
reading. But I am concerned about trying to match that old siding.
You can make it a stipulation
yeah.
of the
I
motion.
mean, if you
Okay.
will match 100%, I'm fine, but I will not compromise. If it's a patch up, I don't like it, my wife certainly will not
Okay.
go for it.
Okay.
Could you go back to the picture, please, of the
The
existing?
original?
Pretty shabby. 75 years old siding.
And then for sure it's time to change.
You can
I mean-
keep going. There
I mean, from here, that siding appears to be in very good shape.
we go.
Who knows what it is, but if it is actually wood with some kind of finish on it, there isn't any obvious reason to mind why it couldn't be expanded and refinished to match, either with new stain or with paint or something like that. But I mean, that siding looks very nice.
I like that
Yeah.
siding.
Very much so, and that doesn't look like vinyl siding. So I think the problem I'm having right now is that there is a significant discrepancy between your understanding of what it's supposed to look like, the narrative description of what it's supposed to look like, and what the drawings are showing it's supposed to look like. I think for me, it's hard to be able to opine one way or the other on whether it's appropriate, because there are three different versions of what the project is supposed to look like. So I think I would be more comfortable if the design documents were tightened up a little bit to represent a little more clearly what the actual scope of the project is. So I think it might make sense to postpone this one and send it back to the drawing board, just so that we can be crystal clear and you can be crystal clear. I think overall the concept seems to be right, and I agree. I think when the addition happens, it's really gonna really tie the house together. But right now, it seems a little ambiguous on what it's supposed to look like.
May I ask, is this question specifically about that setback for the second floor?
No.
Your understanding of it doesn't match the
Yeah.
drawings, which doesn't match the description. So yes, there's a question, but it sounds like maybe you and the architect aren't necessarily on the same page about what it's gonna look like.
No, this is a technical question. If we can just call Nathan for a yes and no question on that, instead of postponing, like, we'll hold back the whole, my children and starting with the spring, so if it's a
So-
yes and no question.
So at this point, we kind of have a question about the setback. I feel like I know what it is, but it isn't 100% clear. And then we also do have a question about the siding. Can we match that existing siding? We don't know. We don't have the architect here to answer that question. I hate to postpone this for another meeting. What are people's thoughts in general?
May I?
Carlos?
So, to clarify in our minds what your intent to do and what the architect is representing, the architect is saying that it will be vinyl to match the existing, but the existing doesn't appear to be vinyl. It appears to be wood. So, as the owner, can you clarify whether it's going to be vinyl or wood to match the existing? And you said also that you prefer to have new siding. I would feel more comfortable if it actually matched the material and the vertical representation, that it will be closer to what it is rather than that. So if you are the final say on the project, I know you're working with the architect, you have to be very clear as to if you're going to follow the board's recommendations so that we don't
For sure.
postpone this. We need to be very clear that we are asking you either to match the existing siding, which appears to be wood, with the same dimensions, same spacing, and the same texture, so that whether it's new or refurbished, the existing and new, it should match. It should be a good match. It couldn't be something in between.
100%.
So I don't know if that will help to make sure that
It's
we
not-
list the things that are required versus we suggest. And I don't know we can do that.
Joe?
As far
It's
as,
not wood, by the way. It's for sure not wood.
no, if it's wood, do you know if it's wood exterior?
It's not. It's for sure not wood.
Okay.
This siding is not wood.
Okay.
What is it?
Either vinyl, I think vinyl. I'm not an expert in materials, but it's for sure not wood. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Joe?
I'm just curious, and to kind of continue the conversation, if that second floor, Carlos, if they were to find a vertical siding that was like a cementitious or hardy, and they did the whole second floor consistent with that, would that be in keeping with what your intention is?
Yes, because I think the overall project, I think everybody agrees, is an improvement to what's existing.
Yeah.
So what we want you just to really embrace what your intent is and actually make it happen, rather than speculate about it. We think there's gonna be this, we don't know yet. We understand your intent, but
Got it.
I think the board needs reassurances that when this is done, it is what we approve and it is what you agreed to do.
Yes, and I commit that I'm the owner, and I give my word that everything will match exactly in the same spacing and siding, and it will be all new, or be a full 100% match with no changes. I guarantee that.
Okay, if you do that, and again, this is a comment, I will recommend that vinyl, in my opinion, is not as a good presence as perhaps the hardy board, hardy plank. I think that will increase the value of the property. I know this is an investment, and the overall second story is it's not just a partial addition, it's a full addition. In terms of the weight of it, I think you will benefit with a material that is not vinyl. I would prefer that would be with, hardy plank, hardy board, something like that, vertical. It will be a nice complement to the brick.
I think at this point, if I'm not mistaken, we're all in agreement that we don't feel that we need to go with the 51+% brick, that we're all comfortable with the same type of siding that's there currently, but question being, can we match the current exactly? And if not, can we provide a product that looks as similar to that as possible, hopefully in a hardy style? Does anybody have any disagreement with that?
There are definitely products that exist that can achieve that look, whether it's
Hardy or not.
specifically hardy or not. There are vertical siding opportunities which achieve that sort of color palette or a wood look. And I think if you can find one of those, then I agree that the 51% is not super important.
Okay, there is one more comment that I wanted to make, and this is a small thing, and I'm hoping that it's not that big a deal, but the front door, it looks like it was an add-on within the last 10 to 15 years. It would be possible to put in a new front door that's more in keeping with the mid-century look of the house.
For sure.
I think we are at a point where at least I am comfortable moving forward on this tonight. Does anybody feel comfortable making a motion to what we just discussed?
I have one, I'm sorry, if I can just, if we do this, I'd like staff to get the revised plans that will indicate what was approved.
So are you suggesting you want this to come back to us?
No, the staff can look at, yes, it's
No,
not,
so they will look at it
Correct.
themselves and make a determination that,
matches what,
Okay.
or compliance.
and, go ahead and say.
Oh, we would make sure that whatever plans are submitted match the recommendations in the agreement at this meeting, when they're submitted for review.
Jacob, do you feel comfortable?
Sure.
Making a motion?
I move to grant a certificate of appropriateness for case number 2026-006A at 9537 Keeler, subject to the requirements that the second floor siding be a vertical seam product which matches exactly or closely approximates the existing siding, and that the architect resubmit drawings to staff for review, clearly indicating the correct orientation of the second floor, and that the comments have been picked up.
In the front door.
And the front door.
And the waiver of the masonry requirement.
And in exchange for the certificate of appropriateness, we will waive the 51% masonry requirement.
Would anybody like to second that? Jay, second it? Okay, let's go ahead and take a roll call. Mark, yay. Tom?
Yay.
Charles? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
Jay?
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yes.
So approved. Good luck.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you for the discussion.
Thank you.
Okay, the last item for this evening. Case number 2026-007A, 5013 Oakton Street, non-residential.
The applicant is proposing modifications to the north elevation of 5013-5019 Oakton Street, including new storefront windows and doors, a metal awning, and updated exterior finishes. The elevation incorporates a mix of brick tones, smooth face architectural block, and modern metal siding to create a refreshed facade. Staff has no objections to the proposed elevation, but notes the signage is not part of this proposal. Any future signage for businesses along this improved facade must comply with the village sign code, or additional review by the Appearance Commission will be required. Hi there.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. I'm Anthony Rowe. I'm one of the design professionals associated with this project, representing Dewey's Barbecue. So my colleague Kevin and I, we proposed a cam-clad, sustainable, vertical material. It's 100% recyclable. It meets the NIFTA regulations, NIFTA 268 and NIFTA 285 for fire ordnance. The masonry, we propose removing the exterior white, having the contractor remove the exterior white of masonry, and a glazed modular brick replace the exterior white. Ease of maintenance, easy to clean, and it goes with the owner's venue of his previous barbecue restaurants that he had in the South. So he's moving that business here to Illinois, to Skokie, and it's within that theme, which is why we chose the color combination, and the interior design also chose that in her palette. The canopy, the metal canopy, we propose to also be color coordinated. Of course, that will have ice breaks on it for safety over the pedestrian walkway. The canopy will be secured to the building with threaded rod, bolted through the masonry, all the way through. Minimum of 16 gauge steel or core 10 quarter inch corrugated 1.5-inch profile steel.
Would you mind passing those products?
Sure.
So are you suggesting that the existing, and I don't know if that is a limestone facade that's currently there? What is that? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Are you suggesting that that be removed, or are you trying to go over it?
No, for that exterior white of limestone be removed to the interior white of the masonry beyond that. Then the cladding, that vertical NIFTA-rated cladding be installed on that. All of the masonry above the exterior white would be removed and replaced with the glazed porcelain modular sized brick that you see, the example that you
So
see.
you can go back to the rendering. So are you suggesting the upper portion of the facade that we're looking at would actually be all
That
this?
is correct,
In this deep red?
correct. And everything that you see in the earth tone would be the cam-clad fire protection, NIFA rated 285, 268 cladding,
And this, it would go in this direction?
vertical.
Joe?
Your restaurant is taking over the barbecue restaurant's taking over the whole space?
With the exception of 5013, that the new tenant would be moving into, and then the existing hair salon that's there, she will remain.
Okay.
The column-like features between the front door of your establishment and along other sections, what is that material?
That would be masonry.
So,
Smooth face masonry, color coordinated with the wood tone, or with the above glazed brick.
does anybody have any comments?
That vertical column with the smooth face block, it stops just short of the glazed face top.
Correct.
So that means there's there's
It'd be a
another
limestone,
element.
right,
Okay, so
limestone
you're doing,
reveal.
okay. This is just this is more of a technical question, and it's for staff and just right away and everything else. That the canopy is going to meet code and requirements and everything from
Correct.
from Oakton. You're allowed to encroach into the over the
Over the
sidewalk.
public way.
Okay, good.
Does anybody have any specific comments? Carlos?
Can I ask the owner, what's your motivation to so dramatically change the design, exterior materials of the property or the business?
You said the owner, that's.
Or the architect?
Just the
Because I'm really not necessarily, at this point, not convinced that,
You want to hear from the owner or the?
you know, whoever is more, the architect.
Well, you know, it's, the building, it's dated, and we wanted to bring the facade of the building up to date, current materials, sustainable materials. The cam clad is a 100% recyclable PVC sustainable material. Ease of maintenance. All of the commercial glass storefronts will be updated to meet the IECC 2021 thermal value. So to meet the owner's requirements of the theme that he and the interior designer came up with, as well as the building requirements, the code requirements, and that was basically what was behind the design.
I'd like to state, I do appreciate the owner of this barbecue place putting so much effort into into our downtown area. We do appreciate that. I am struggling with the design of this project. Obviously, you guys have put a ton of work into this, and I appreciate that. This is a very visible location in the heart of downtown. The current structure, while I agree with you, is dated. It isn't, I looked at it and it is in bad shape, but the current structure does have a permanence to it. A strong limestone facade and large plate glass. I am concerned about the sizing of these windows. I think they need to be larger in this type of downtown storefront application. the wood siding to me feels like a filler. And this wood siding is a thing we do see in commercial applications today, but it feels more suburban than downtown to me. Seems a little bit trendy. Again, the current facade is tired, and so I just wanted to state that I'm just struggling a little bit with the design. And again, I do appreciate the amount of work that was put into this. Does anybody have any other comments?
Can we go back to the photos, the original, or existing rather? Thank you.
Is that the best front facade view we have? It's kind of hard to see with the,
I somewhat agree after kind of walking by and kind of touching and everything. I really like the kind of the limestone facade, but it is, I mean, it's kind of rough. If we do allow something, I hope it's saved. Those panels are saved somehow, and maybe we can they can be reused or something at least. The color of the glazed brick, there's a lot of it, and on the drawings, and when we reviewed it prior to the meeting, it says common brick, and common brick in Chicago, I mean, it's, we all know it, it's shades of oranges, and this is orange, and there's a lot of it, and that's kind of when I was looking at it, I was thinking, well, because just to the west, there's a couple of shops, the Pilates shop and the salon, those were redone with modern materials, and it looks really, really nice. So I was kind of putting this in context with that and thinking, okay, well, they use modern materials, they use the vertical siding, theirs is black, this is brown
Wood
tones, wood tones. So yes, I mean, it seems like it's close, but the vibrance and actually suburban kind of, I think what brings up the suburban in my mind is it's like a 35 mile an hour or 40 mile an hour, I grab you kind of color, like like we'd have on, over by Old Orchard, where this is more of a pedestrian downtown. That's a lot of bright, that I'm not sure if it's needed. If there's a way that upper level could be saved, the limestone and everything south of that limestone band, maybe it's power washed, and it could be kind of cool.
Sure.
And it would save you a lot of money. but it doesn't grab you, it doesn't grab your attention as much, but your attention needs to be in the pedestrian zone, not necessarily above the canopy. Maybe that's kind of a solution that would kind of bring it down to downtown Skokie versus
Or
Old Orchard.
possibly a white glazed brick from here at the header down. The limestone remain, have it cleaned up, power washed, and then the white glazed brick from here down and all new glass storefront. I really like the glazed brick. It feels very reminiscent of like a nice terracotta facade. I mean, it's really beautiful and it's really strong. And I think that other than the fact that it's a solid limestone building, which appears to be in good shape, it looks very tired and it looks very matte, and it has a lot of water staining on it. And I think in general, the notion of trying to give the whole thing a facelift and really bringing it back to popping and having some luster feels like a nice idea. The upper part of the facade, I'm sort of take it or leave it personally a little bit on it. I think where you do have some of the nice detailing that might be worth retaining are on the columns and the band that comes across that has the little bit of fading on it. And I'm not totally sure what the right answer is off the top of my head, but I mean, it feels like if there was a way to retain some of the detailing and bring it back, maybe give it some kind of sheen or something so that it doesn't look completely dull and matte. I think they're off the top of my head, if that was retained and was given some color, then I'd love to see some of that glazed brick happening here. I think it's really cool, and I think it could happen successfully across the top there somehow.
In what you were saying prior to Jacob, were you suggesting keeping the limestone facade, but then below doing some glazed?
Using the glazed brick below. So from the door headers down would be glazed at the pedestrian level. And above the header up to the top of the parapet, the limestone would remain, just cleaned up,
Repaired?
correct.
Could I,
Yeah, go ahead. You can come up to the podium and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Robert Fitzpatrick, and I'm buying this building. And what we're trying to do with this location is to recreate my dad's barbecue restaurant. He had a barbecue restaurant in Little Greenville, Texas, for over 50 years, kind of nationally acclaimed. So we're trying to bring the personality of the Northeast Texas barbecue restaurant right here to Skokie. So the red that he mentioned kind of goes with the logo that I have. It has a lot of red in the color. So I actually like the red. And I wanted to take on the personality of the barbecue restaurant, so it's going to have to release completely from Rich's Britches.
Yeah.
At least from Beauty Salon over. Because 5017 to 5019 will be a restaurant. Now, 5017 will be a sit-down dine-in place. 5019 will be a carry-out place. So
So the center of the building is the sit-down?
correct. And 5019 will be the takeout, kind of like a Mariano's or a
Deli.
Yeah.
like a deli.
Takeout.
Yeah.
Except everything that I have will be smoked. Everything will be smoked. I like the white, but we'll be cooking there, and it may turn colors over the years. So I stay away from the white. That's another reason I don't care to whitewash this, because it's gonna, when you barbecue, it makes a little bit of smoke. So that may turn quicker. That the material he just introduced can be easily cleaned. And again, it fits with the logo. So I spent a lot of time with him and my interior designer telling them of the concept of this restaurant, and I think he did an excellent job of not only the inside, but the front exterior too, and making it the personality of a barbecue restaurant. And almost nothing about this will be suburban. Almost nothing. From the food to the music to the service. It'll be old East Texas, is what you'll see when you come in here.
I do appreciate the amount of effort and time you put into this. Does anybody have any other comments with regards to this?
You sold me on the orange, by the way, the terracotta.
So that, it looks like more of a red to me. Can we see that again? I just want to make sure they're on the same page.
That's the color of my house, so.
Yeah.
I
So
get you.
what would you call that?
That's red.
Yeah, red.
Go ahead.
No.
I'm wondering if flip-flopping the materials might make more sense. Put the glazed red brick on the bottom. It's not as much of it. It'll have some flash, but it won't be overpowering. And put the vinyl siding, on the top. Kind of give, maybe give you more of a backyard feel on top. Just a thought.
Well, one of the thought too is, so my dad's first building that was built in 1951, and he operated that location in 1976, was a a hole-in-the-wall corrugated steel building. So he's trying to recreate some of that feel with those canopies that will extend. But he's telling me, there's all kind of code against, you can't put the corrugated steel up there. So that will give it some of the less suburban feel and more of my old East Texas feel.
You said your logo has a lot of red in it?
Yes, the lettering is red.
I think flipping the colors could make a lot of sense. If the red accent is on the bottom, and then, something else as a more prevalent field material, then your logo could really pop up there.
You might get lost in the red above,
I-
there was so much of it.
I do agree with the idea of maybe bringing the red glaze down to street level. I agree with the fact that the sign could get lost with all that red glaze up top. So,
Mr. Chairman,
yeah, go ahead.
I do appreciate all the effort and investment you are going to bring to, to Skokie. And I think you have the best intentions for your business, so I wish you a lot of success with it. I like to offer my opinion on this because I think that after all, this is a Skokie, and I think there will be a good marriage between Skokie and Texas if we leave some of the Skokie presence on the downtown. I think that if you restore the stone, the limestone, if you do that, I would recommend not to do the power wash, but there are companies that use some sort of chemical that is friendly to the environment that would clean and make the limestone look very nicely finished. So you can bring that back, so it would not look tired anymore. And then the first floor with the glazed brick, the red, it seems to me that that's what you prefer. I think that will work really nice. It would be a contrast between the upper level and the first floor. It will actually stand out more than covering the entire facade with the same material. And I think your logo, we don't have or the sign will also stand out if you put it with a contrasting color behind. And also enhancing the front, the storefront, like the chair said, it maybe it's more window rather than less. So you can maybe even have times where you can slide the windows so that they become sort of interior, exterior at the same time, rather than just close all the time, even though you have outdoor dining appears to be. I think that you definitely are in the right path. I think that if you kind of consider what will be the benefits of restoring the limestone appropriately and put that savings into a first-class storefront, I think that would be something that will encourage you to consider. And I hope the board is thinking the same or similarly.
I tend to agree with Carlos. I like the idea of trying to restore that limestone to try to at least keep some of the original Skokie facade. I also do like the idea of bringing that red glazed tile down to the main floor across the front. I had mentioned earlier, I felt like the sizing of the windows was a little small. I did like the point that you made of trying to offer opening windows, so on nice days, people could enjoy the weather outside. I think I know Village Inn Pizza has sliding windows, for example. I'm not suggesting sliding windows here exactly, whatever might work. I kind of agree with you in general with what you're saying. I don't know how other people feel.
Just an idea. If that glazed red one be as like a post, goes all the way in between the stores, then that brown one be in between the post, and as he said, his sign is red, so it's gonna bring it all together if his sign is gonna sit on the brown.
You're talking about first floor only though, right?
Yeah. So the post is gonna be only red, going all the way up.
But stopping at only the first floor.
No, if it's gonna go, you see all the limestones keep going up, so it's gonna go up And in between, yeah, and in between the columns, the red is gonna be the brown, then his sign on top of it is gonna bring the red, the brown, and as his, it's a barbecue, so it's gonna be the brown.
You're saying the red glaze from here to the header.
Goes all the way up,
All the way up to the
all
parapet.
the way up.
Oh, all the way up to the top of the
Yeah,
parapet?
yes.
Ah, okay.
And the brown, that because it's gonna be, bring it together even as a food, barbecue, it's wood, and red, more attention, fire.
If I may, I think just leave it alone, just restore the front limestone and concentrate your efforts, design on the first floor where it's actually the pedestrian level. I think that would be a balance between the old and the new. And I hope that will work for you the best. You know, our intent is to make it very successful with ideas.
So in repairing the limestone and cleaning the limestone, any of those pieces that are loose will have to be Syntec repaired. So the pins will have to be inserted and secured to the interior width of masonry to make sure that there are no life safety issues, none of that's loose, which means that when it's cleaned, it will be more, the repairs will be more visible. So we also have to take that in mind.
Carlos, you were involved with historic restoration. What are your thoughts?
Well, it depends the extent to what proportion of the building or the facade is in that stage of structural need of repair that you have to remove the panel. Sometimes you can use the same panel, you just reverse it. But when you clean it properly, it should be very close to the original tone of the. You can also stain masonry rather than painting, so stain does absorb to the point where it will not be so much of a contrast between the old and the new. I mean, I'd be happy to, if it's allowed, maybe visit with you and take a look at it and see whether or not what we're talking is feasible, because at the end, it's your investment and we're trying to help you. And I don't know whether or not we have that ability to do this or not, but yeah, there's definitely companies that do restoration masonry. They specialize in this type of repairs.
So my only concern about keeping, like, whitewashing it is, it was a closed door before. And cooking in there is, I'm just thinking that the white will turn quickly into something.
I'm not talking, you're talking about the limestone?
Yeah, the limestone. If
So
it was whitewash.
Aren't you required to have some smokestacks so that,
That's only gonna be in the rear though. So all of your cooking, the pit will be in the rear, so that won't affect the facade. I understand your concern, but that won't be toward the facade of the building, that's gonna be in the rear. The rear of the building will be the Iberia common brick. It's the new common brick, so that pit will be built out with new common brick and refractory brick for the pit area. So on the front, you wouldn't have any smoke contamination on the limestone. But due to the age of the limestone is what I'm speaking of in terms of restoration. So dry ice restoration may be the best versus chemical, and there are so many ordinances regarding chemical cleaning and restoration for the limestone and masonry. All of that would have to be done based on NAMCA standards and,
Yes.
of course, International Building Code standards.
And I'm just thinking out loud here, we're talking about, some of us at least are talking about trying to restore this limestone facade. If for some reason the limestone facade wasn't restorable, another thought that I had, we were talking about common Chicago brick. Would it be, you're trying to go for somewhat of a rustic barbecue type situation. I'm wondering if Chicago common brick on the top half. If for some reason the limestone didn't work out, and then that red glazed tile again in the window area. You know, I'm just spitballing here, trying to think of ideas.
Actually, I mean, that sounds outstanding, is that?
Yeah, I like that.
And, yeah, and it's cost effective. The Iberian common brick modular, it's not expensive, it still gives you the common brick. It's gonna have the strength versus using, reusing a used common brick. So it'll give him the look that he's looking for, and the red glazed brick below, that's certainly going to update it. It will all be masonry. In terms of removing that exterior white of masonry, that will solve a couple of problems. The loose pieces of limestone, once the exterior white of limestone is removed, that's going to expose the condition of the steel lintels. So any structural issues can then be remediated at that time, therefore lengthening the life of the building and having a much better facade at that point, rather than just trying to restore the limestone.
And does anybody have any thoughts? Go ahead.
That sounds like a really interesting solution, because you have your red glaze, which meets your requirement for kind of your image. You've got your canopy, you've got the limestone band, and then you've got common brick, which kind of ties into the oranges. What I like about that is that it's a pretty standard downtown material. It's not something, you know, so when you're extremely successful and you need to move into larger space down the street, you can lease this and it fits in with everything, and because I plan on coming here, so.
I think we all plan on coming in. We may all come together.
It seems like it kind of, that solution kind of hit the mark, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but for me, my comments about the color and everything, I'm sold on the red because of your image. It seems to make sense to me, and it, you know, all of this discussion is that the downtown is really coming alive. Rich's Britches is gone. Thank you. Not that it was a bad place, it's just that it's been there for long enough.
It's time to move on.
But you know, the thing is that we're here for keeps. You're here for, you're here for keeps as well, and so we want to kind of keep everything Skokie downtown. And I don't know, it seems like this discussion has really brought out a lot of really good comments.
It also resolves the deferred maintenance issue, the water penetration issue. The several areas of limestone where it's a little loose. So now you have remediated any life safety issues. You've updated the building. It's a better building with a much longer lifespan. And we've resolved, I think, the facade issue in terms of the aesthetics.
So if, you know, again, this was something that I was thinking, it sounds like Joe agrees, and we obviously need to talk to everybody about this, but having the upper section in a common brick pattern, and then the below the limestone lentil having a glazed brick. I don't know how everybody feels about the size of the windows. If everybody's okay with the size of the windows as is, that's fine. I just felt like they might need to be a little bit bigger. I did like the idea of possibly having windows that opened in nice weather. I feel like we're getting closer. What do people feel?
After the success, there's the garage door style. We approved one around the corner at it's now closed, the Mexican restaurant next to the cigar or the pool joint. You know, something like that, and it may be something that you grow into once you're successful. I think opening the windows is going to be important since you're smoking and the vibe, just the vibe and the music and everything. It's going to really add life to the street. if you can open it up, but it's not crucial at this point because you need to get open. I don't know,
Yes.
does that make sense, or is that?
Sure.
Absolutely need to get over.
Sure. You know, personally, I'm okay with moving forward with the idea of a common brick up top and then the glazing below.
And we can certainly, excuse me for interrupting, we can certainly change the construction document drawings to reflect that.
How do people feel? Questions, comments?
Comment. I think I'm in the minority right now, which is fine. That's why we have a pen. I think you talk about sustainability or at least its maintenance. I think by not removing an existing material that's a very good material and bringing a new, it just, doesn't really go with the environmental, concerns in terms of bringing material that probably will cause some environmental concerns. I would encourage you to maybe explore whether or not restoring the masonry is feasible. Because if it is, I think you probably have a better quality material than any brick that you can find. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not necessarily saying this is a bad project. I think I'm just trying to push you a little bit more to maybe look at every possible way to salvage the original material that is a good material rather than not. So that would be my comment.
So I guess, I don't know if we need to take a vote on Carlos's thoughts. I hear what Carlos is saying, and I tend to agree with him that it might be nice to see if the limestone is salvageable. I don't know if how people feel about maybe with the recommendation saying check to see if the limestone is salvageable, and then if not, or go with the common brick idea. I don't know if that's something that we can kind of vote on before we vote on. Does anybody have any thoughts about that in general? Joe?
I've got a lot of thoughts, but I don't, just watching restorations happen in some of these older neighborhoods where the facades actually fall off, and I hadn't considered that. If we were to, I like the limestone. The common brick is a really good kind of compromise solution, in my opinion, and I don't want to be the only opinion here, by the way, either. I'd prefer if it were limestone and the glazed brick below, simply because that's history, that's what it is. If we were to vote on it, it's really easy to go, oops, and, break a piece off. And I'm not saying that you would do that, but it's kind of it's soft. It's not a decision.
Yeah.
And we're not here to design it for them.
No.
We're here to respond to the design. So I don't know, and that's the last thing I'm saying.
Jacob, do you have anything to add?
It's two good options, either of which would make the building look really nice. I think to Carlos's point, it is worth looking into the restoration to determine how feasible that is. It sounds like, having spent some time looking at the building, you guys have some concerns about water penetration, which I think is driving some of the motivation to remove some of that. And sometimes dealing with that, it ends up being more of a hassle to bring it back. So I guess aesthetically, between the limestone or the brick, I think it's two good choices to choose between. I think bringing the red glaze down and having that be sort of an accent framing material seems like a really nice idea. At that point, I think I'm inclined to agree with you that the windows could be bigger and should be bigger. And I think from a construction standpoint, I think it's probably easier to build that facade if the storefront windows butt right up to the door, if they're just single integrated storefront systems. And then that would really make that red accent pop that much more. So I think I would agree with that change as well. As far as operable windows, I don't think that should be a requirement, because that might be cost prohibitive for the project. I think there'll be a big jump there, but, yeah, when you, totally knock it out of the ballpark here, you should consider swapping those out for operables in year 2 or 3 or whatever it is. So those are some of my thoughts.
Does anybody else have any thoughts? I think that I'm comfortable saying to the owner that they can, review the limestone facade to see if it's salvageable. If they feel that it's not, that they can go with the common brick idea. I do like the idea of making the windows bigger. Those are my thoughts. Do people feel comfortable moving forward with letting the owners make the decision about the limestone versus common brick facade?
Yes.
Yes.
Would anybody like to make a motion based on what we've discussed with regards to the option of the common brick and limestone facade with the idea of making the windows bigger? And anything else in particular?
I can make an attempt and help me through it as we go, since there was a long discussion. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2026-007A at 5013 Oakton, with larger storefront windows, red glaze on the street level as opposed to the parapet, I guess you'd call it, or above the limestone band, to test the safety and security of the existing limestone, which is preferred on the upper level. If it's deemed to be not safe or whatever, not safe, then a Chicago common brick would be appropriate.
Yes.
Before we vote, you made the larger windows contingent? A requirement of
Yeah,
a vote of
yes.
your motion?
Yes, larger windows to match the existing.
And you're putting the onus of the soundness of the limestone on the petitioner?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
We need a second.
Second?
Okay. It's seconded. Let's go ahead and take a vote. Mark, aye. Tom?
Nay.
Charles?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jay?
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yay.
So passes. Good luck. We appreciate you guys taking the time to walk through this with us. I know it wasn't super easy, but we wish you much success and look forward to enjoying your barbecue.
Thank you. Look forward to having you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, with that, is there anybody here for public comment? It appears no. With that, I think we can make a motion to adjourn. Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Anybody second?
Second.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time tonight and going through everything. It was very detailed, and we do appreciate everybody's help. We will see everybody next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.